Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So WWE 2K25 kind of ruined the Switch 2 for me. Now let me explain, because people are going to be like, what are you talking about? How did that ruin the entire system for you? Well, Donkey Kong Bonanza is awesome. Mario Kart World was kind of boring. And any console or any platform is going to rely heavily on third parties to pick up the slack in between their first party games. I mean, if you buy a Nintendo system, you're not buying it for the prettiest games, the best graphics, the best performance. You're pretty much buying it for the Nintendo IP because, well, they always make their Nintendo IP. They're always like top tier. They're very high quality, super fun to play. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza is one of the funnest games I've ever played. It's such a simple mechanic of just destroying everything, but it's fun. You can play it literally forever because it's just so fun to play. Mario Kart, again, I'm not a big Mario Kart fan, but I liked the idea of having a big free roaming area, but they should have had like stunt mode where you can do flips and stunts and build up a score, because then it would give you something to do the entire time you're out there doing stuff. Instead, they just focused on the racing and then just mindlessly driving around. I'm guessing if you had a bunch of friends to play it with, that'd be a lot more fun. Just go explore and try to find all the collectibles and stuff together. But I don't know, it just felt like it was unfinished. It was really weird. Anyway, so we're on to 2K25. I was super excited for it coming to the Nintendo Switch. But it was not on the cartridge. In fact, it's not even on a key card, which I hate key cards. If you watch a couple of my other videos on my Switch channel, it's just a code in the box. So that's strike one of the game. And like, I know there's so much crap that you have to download for it if you want everything anyway. So I would consider the 2K franchise of wrestling games not even like worth buying physically. Like, I didn't buy it physically on the PlayStation, mainly because of the early access. And if you buy the Super Blood Money Edition, shout outs to Mr. Dubs. If you buy the Blood Money Edition, then you get early access to it, and it makes it easier for those of us YouTubers that don't get invited to the event to go check it out early and capture footage early. That's the earliest we can get it. And some people even travel to New Zealand for a day so they can get it just a little bit earlier than everybody else to get that jump, because any YouTube thing you do is super hyper competitive. I mean, if you're not the first guy to make a video on something, then you better hurry up and get it up there as soon as possible, because the longer that topic is out there and has been covered from other YouTubers, unless you have a big following, you're not going to get views, and it's just going to die. You're going to put that video out to die. So anyway, 2K25 on the Switch 2. Why did it ruin the system for me? So, right out of the gate, we're about a little over a month into the Switch 2's life, and third-party companies and third-party games developers are already having to take out modes or features to get them to run or work properly on the Switch 2 without any major issues. What did they take out? Well, they took out cross-community creations with PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, even the old gen or PC. It makes sense for PC because of all the hackers and modders and stuff that use that. And the biggest thing, like, I could live with no cross-community creations. I can live with that. But then there's no image uploader. Like, how do you not include an image uploader? Like, what was the last wrestling game, WWE wrestling game, mainline series, that did not have the image uploader? It's just like a common thing now. It's like you would never think in a million years they would remove it or take it out of a version of the game and then go on to charge full price for that copy of the game. $130 for an incomplete game. That, to me, is BS. And I know they charge the same price on the last gen consoles also, which I think is total BS. I feel like the PS4 and the Xbox One version and the PC version should be $10 cheaper for the complete Blood Money edition. Like, for all editions across the board, they should all be $10 cheaper, because it does not have the island mode on those versions, right? Just like a way of saying, hey, sorry, we don't have it on your system. Here's $10 cheaper. I mean, they could afford it. They make so much money off of all the microtransactions and the fact that the game comes out a new version every year. So not having that image uploader kind of pretty much makes this and the cross community creations thing pretty much makes the Nintendo Switch 2 version of the game worthless to me. Sure, it runs great, it plays great, it feels fantastic when you do matches, the entrances look fine, it can do big multi-man matches without the system, chugging and frame rate. It does get a little, like a teeny tiny bit fuzzy when you're playing multi-man matches, but it functions, and it's a huge improvement over what 2K18 was back on the original Switch. So there is that. If you don't care about making wrestlers, then you're fine. Like if you just want to play as the in-game wrestlers, every feature is there that you could possibly imagine. The island mode is there. What is it? GM mode is there. Universe mode is there. The stupid card game is there. My Faction. The story mode is there. Everything is there and complete. It's just, if you create wrestlers or you love the creation suite, then the Switch 2 version shouldn't even be an option for you, because you can't create everything you want to create. And the online creators, like What's the Status and all the other, there's so many of them, I can't remember them all. There's Rebel Cause, there's a million of them that make super awesome content, won't even touch the platform because, well, you can't use the image uploader. And that's how a lot of their creations are made. So that really sucks. They're not going to sit there and try to make it meticulously with the in-game stuff, because, I mean, if you've been playing these games as long as I have, they've taken out so many, like, body paints, arm tattoos, leg tattoos, like tattoos across the board, the images. They haven't really added any new images because they really didn't have to, because they have the image uploader. And you really don't realize how limited the in-game stuff is until they removed the image uploader, because I can't make my wrestling ring, I can't make my championships, and I can make my main 2 wrestlers because I use all in-game stuff for them for the most part, but there's some of my wrestlers I just can't make because, well, can't use the image uploader. Oh, so that's a huge bummer. So I don't know if it's Nintendo's call on this. Like, maybe they're afraid that with the image uploader, because you're uploading stuff to a server, maybe some hacker genius guy out there can use that to hack the system. Maybe that's what they're afraid of. Maybe that's what 2K is afraid of. They don't want to have to deal with any legal stuff where if a fan figures out a loophole within the image uploader on the Switch 2 version, because you have to kind of link your account to it to do that, maybe that'll allow them to hack the system or something, because Nintendo is super anal about their system getting hacked this generation. Like, if they detect anything, there's even used games that were dumped. I don't know even how you do that, because I'm not a super computer guy, but they can take the cartridge, the data that's on the cartridge, and dump it onto the computer and then sell the game because they don't need the game cartridge anymore. Well, apparently the Switch 2 can detect that the game's been tampered with, and they'll just ban your account, and I don't know if they'll brick your system, but there was a couple users, or at least one user, that was reported having that issue. He bought a couple used games off of Facebook. He was just playing them on his system. He didn't do any shenanigans or anything like that, according to the whole thing. And Nintendo banned his account because they detected those games were tampered with. Like, they're not messing around this gen. So, I'm afraid to buy used games because of that. But is that the reason why the image uploader and the cross-community creation thing is not there? Because I know the modders, I shouldn't say hackers, the modders have figured out a way to get the PC creations on the PS5 and the Series X. I don't know how they do it. There's a loophole where they can upload it to there. So they are on the servers on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, which is supposed to be blocked off from the PC versions. So they've already figured out a way to hack stuff into the game or mod it into the game. I'll use the word mod, but it's hacking. Come on. Potato here. And maybe the Nintendo's afraid of that. So again, I can understand no cross-community creations, but you gotta have an image uploader. If 2K26 does not have an image uploader or cross-community creations, then it needs to be significantly cheaper. I'm talking $20 cheaper, because that is a huge feature that won't be included in the game. And they need to say it up front. This copy, 2K26, oh, and another thing, it has to come out the same week as the other systems. If 2K26 comes out months later, it's dead. You might as well not even release it, right? It's like, oh, but you can play it portably. That's cool. But if it doesn't have all the bells and whistles in the creation suite, the whole, like, think of all the modes that you would want to play in handheld mode. What's the most, like, easiest thing you'd want to do? Creation mode. Because you can create stuff while on the go, doing other things, watching TV. Then when you're done, you go check it out and do a match on the TV. That's like the entire purpose or the main reason anybody would probably want the Switch 2 version, right? I mean, obviously it'd be fun to play matches on the go, but for me, and I'm sure a lot of the creators would probably pick the Switch 2 version. Think about that. If they get all the features complete and cross-community creations, I guarantee you a lot of these creators that have, they do commissions, right? Where you can pay them to make a character for you. They'd probably use the Switch 2 version because they'd have so many commissions that they could do it on the go. They wouldn't be tied to a computer. They would probably do it on their laptop now, but they wouldn't be tied to a certain thing. They can make it like on the go and stuff. And now I know they use modding tools and stuff like that for some of those characters, but some of them don't. What better way to do it than have it on the go? You could do it literally when they're at their real job. There's just so much you can do with a portable version, a complete portable version of a 2K game, of the WWE 2K game. And it just kills me that this first outing, I don't know why they removed it, probably because they were afraid of hacking or because of bugs. Maybe they had it in there and it just made the game run like crap. And that's another thing. 2K18 was so bad on the original Switch that they had to make a game run perfectly on the Switch 2, or the entire franchise would be written off in the future. So hopefully, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. Hopefully this year they focused on just making sure the thing ran great, played great, looked great for, a handheld copy. And then next year we'll get the image uploader, we'll get cross-community creations, and it'll be just as good as the other systems, just slightly less probably frame rate, and of course slightly less graphics, because it's obviously not going to be up on par with the PlayStation 5 Pro or heck even the base PS5. So there is hope for 2K26, but 2K26 for me on a Nintendo platform, the whole WWE games franchise, unless they do a separate game, which they'll never do because they're too focused on their main game, although they're trying to make more money. Like, all their WWE's trying to do is make more money. They should literally commission more games. They should go to 2K and be like, hey, we want more games. We want a kart racing game. We want a card battle game. We want everything. And not in just one game. We want separate SKUs. You're going to make a lot more money doing that than what you're doing right now, I think. But who knows? It's 2K. 2K has the license. Maybe they have a final say in what's going on with what they do. Or maybe WWE only wants one franchise. I have no idea. But nothing makes sense anymore. WWE's going in a weird direction. And wrestling games on Nintendo platforms still continue to struggle. And at this point, it's pathetic. Anyway, so how do you feel about this? Am I being overly dramatic here? I just super bummed out because the whole reason I wanted this game on the Switch 2, 2K25 I mean, is to make wrestlers on the go. And I can't do that. So that copy of the game is pretty much pointless to me. Thanks for watching, and stay frosty.